Billy here. This is cozy, isn't it? I'm back at my dormitory hostel in Moscow. An update. You may find it interesting. It's pretty interesting. What can be inferred from it is up for debate, I suppose. As some of you know, I went to Poland so I could just go to a bank or an ATM and get some of my money. I've been totally cut off here the whole time because of this war. And I did a lot of research. I looked everything I could find on the internet, and it appeared to me I could just cross the border into Poland. As a U.S. citizen, I'm entitled to do that. They didn't have any restrictions on Americans. And I looked into coming from Russia. Last time I came here and left both times, I went through Poland. Yeah, I got to the border and they pulled me off the bus. Before I could even get to the Polish customs, they had a pre-screening and they pulled me off and says, "You can't go, you have to go back." Why? Says you need special permission. Well, I've went through all this. If some of you watched my former videos, so I'm not going to go into detail. But she said I needed to just email the commander of the border guards and get special permission. He'd email me back, and then I could go. And she gave me a bad link, a bad email address. I finally found it out, and I sent my request, and they sent back a really confusing, convoluted reasoning that there are no restrictions. Therefore, I can't give you a special permission. That can be interpreted two different ways. I found that this happens a lot. I think they have special instructions that are probably technically illegal, but they're operating. They're totally controlled by the U.S. and the State Department and NATO. I am an outlier, and I'm an outlier. I'm not an official tourist that goes into tourist areas and spends money. I'm coming from Russia. I don't fit the mold of a lot of stuff, so legally and technically they shouldn't stop me from going through, but they did. She wouldn't let me go to customs. And this commander gave me this convoluted reasoning. And so I decided to abandon that project. I looked into Lithuania. All I need is a visa, and I could go across the border in Lithuania. Well, the site to get a visa is down. I couldn't get one. It's only an online system and it won't work. I think there's a reason for that because it seems pretty common. I gave up, I came back to Moscow. It's very cheap to go to Kaliningrad from Moscow, so it wasn't out a big deal. The cheapest place I can go now is Uzbekistan. It's more than double what it costs to go to Kaliningrad, but I can go to Uzbekistan. They don't even have a COVID test. Now, the CDC and the WHO says, "Oh, you have to be vaccinated or they won't let you in." There's disinformation everywhere because I talked to the ticket office and the people that actually give you your boarding pass. They're the ones that ask for the COVID papers. And it says, "No, we dropped that. We don't do that." Okay, so what do I need? A visa, right? Yeah, you could get an online visa very quickly. I go to the site. And it goes all the way to the end. The last thing you do before paying and getting your visa is you put in your photographs. And it says very specifically, must be 300 DPI or whatever, and a JPG image, 45 by 35 or 40 by 35 millimeters. It's got to be less than 1,024 kilobytes. So I made pictures and I sent them. And it rejected them. It says, "These must be less than 1,024 kilobytes. My picture's only 300 kilobytes. It wouldn't go further. I went to a photo place and made sure they made pictures that fit these specifications. I paid them. I sent them. They must be less than 1,024 kilobytes. And you can see the picture right there. It says 360 kilobytes. It's not working properly. I sent them a message. There's something wrong with your site. No response. I went to a professional visa service where you pay like $100 extra and they do it for you. And they says, "Well, I'm sorry, the government site isn't working right now, so I can't get an Uzbek visa." I think this is on purpose because this is life during wartime. The globalists have created a system where there's so many variables. There's COVID, and there's electronic visas, and there's this, and there's that, and now there's 60 freaking things that you got to do, and you don't have any representation, and you don't have any rights. You're dealing with corporations. And somebody decides who's going to get flagged and who's going to be able to go in. And they go by algorithms, they go by assumptions. Oh, these are tourists. Well, this guy, he's living in Russia, and he's American. He must be a troublemaker. I just want to get a hold of my money that I earn so I can support my family. No can do, buddy. There's 1,000 little things that could go wrong, and you got to invest in it. And they get to the end before you find out that you can't go. The world has changed. It's gotten very dangerous. Anyway, that's that. I'm going to the embassy today, the Uzbek embassy. And in theory, I can get a visa right there, but it takes a lot longer than the electronic one. And they're going to want paid, and I'm out of rubles almost again. I can't pay online with my American account. The only thing I can buy with my American account is visas and airline tickets. I should be able to get out of here, right? No, none of the sites work where you can get your visas. They all just happen to be down right now and not work, at least not for me. Well, we'll see what happens at the embassy. It takes a lot longer to get one. If I do come up with the money and pay them, then I have to sit and wait for it to become valid. And another thing that makes this difficult is you find all kinds of contradictory information, because there's companies that want to make money off of you. There's companies that will get you a visa, and you go all the way through the process. And this is what's interesting. You go all the way through the process on their site, except the photographs. They don't let you do that. You got to pay first before you do the photographs. Yeah, that's the sticker and everything, and they make the paywall in front of that. They want you to invest time and trouble filling it all out and getting everything all ready, and then, oh, pay now, it's time to pay, but I haven't done my photographs yet. Oh no, you pay first, then we do the photographs. So, I'm not wasting money anymore. I'm just wasting money. I'm bleeding money everywhere to all these thieves that are in good with the right people, and they're taking advantage of it. And they're probably subsidiaries that are owned by the people that get to influence governments and pass laws and arrange things to their benefit and your detriment. I'm fighting this. You can make fun of me and you can laugh. Well, you just brought all this on yourself by being so different. And you can relax and sit in your Barca lounger and watch your shows. Your kids' lives are going to be horrifying if you let them keep doing this. You're not fighting it. I'm fighting it the only way I can. I'm experiencing it and relaying the information of how it works and what's happening. It's really amazing. And they're not all in lockstep. There are governments that actually do look out for the interests of their people. They're very few now. They've all been taken over by corporate power and money power. And there is a fight. Nothing's monolithic. Some are shored up pretty good to the globalist side, and they're in lockstep, and some are fighting it, but they have a fifth column that's fighting them, and it's real complicated. It's fascinating. It's a fascinating subject, and it's true. I could just spend a bunch of money and go someplace like Dubai that costs like 3 times as much as going to Uzbekistan, and I'm going to have a lot less money left to get if I go there. Dubai or even Turkey. Turkey used to be the cheapest place you could go from Moscow. Not anymore. The prices to places like that have skyrocketed. And all these things are just coincidences, right? Oh, I must be paranoid, because it all just fits together perfectly to corral people into the place where the globalists want them. They don't want you to go around wherever you want. That's a thing of the past. You're going to stay where they tell you to. Oh, yeah, the Poland thing. She told me, you show me a ticket that you're going back to America and we'll let you right in. You can't come in here and then go back to Russia. That's the thing right there. That's the goal. That's the money phrase. And it might happen if I make it to Uzbekistan. I say, oh no, you can't go back there. You have to go back to the States. Where do they get the right to do that? Oh, the United States isn't at war with anybody, is it? You've been at war a long time. It took 8 years of theft and blockades and sanctions to get the Japanese to attack us in 1941. If you read up on it, that's what happened. Or you can go with the little just so stories they taught you in school about the surprise attack. Those treacherous little nips, they attacked us for no reason. And now Russia attacked Ukraine for no reason. It took 8 years of genocide to get them to do it. And now it's big bad Russia attacked poor little sweet innocent Ukraine. Yeah, that's the truth. You can wave your little yellow and blue murder flags around if you want. I don't care. I know the truth. I freaking live here, and I know a ton of journalists. I personally know a lot of them. I post links in their work. They're honest people. Some of them are doing this at great expense to themselves. A lot of them lost their families and got blackballed because they're telling the truth. They're telling something that contradicts the media. Yeah. Why would they do that? Oh, they just want money. Let me tell you something, bud. There's no money in this. I had Russian organizations not linked with the government that really wanted to fight all these lies and stuff, and they wanted me to help them, and I helped them, and it just gave me a tiny little bit, not enough to live on, and then I didn't even get that. But, in America, they think, well, you're a Kremlin bot. You must be getting millions of dollars. You probably got a yacht somewhere. I get it from both sides. I'm an American agent here in some Russians' minds just because I'm American and I live here. And Americans all think I'm a Putin stooge. I don't give a rat's ass what either of you think. I'm after the truth. That's all I care about. I'm going to have integrity and I'm going to bring it. I don't care what it costs. I don't care what I have to do. I might end up living on the street. I'm not exaggerating. But I keep trying whatever I can do to make it happen. Nobody can help me. Nobody wants to help me here. People laugh about the way the Russians fight the information war. They don't fight it. They don't even try. But I can understand that too. The truth is on their side. Why should they waste money? Because it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter what they say or what they do. There's a multi-billion-dollar campaign in the West to smear Russia and exalt Ukraine and cover everything and make heroes and make propaganda. There's 150 private PR companies that are organized under government bodies doing this. That's why you see all the little blue and yellow flags everywhere. The sickening thing is it works. So many people are so intellectually lazy and morally scrofulous that they just fall right into it. People that are supposed to be Christians, they don't give it 2 seconds of thought. They just go along with the crowd. They're laying in their bark lounger watching soft porn on Netflix and waiting for Jesus to come and rapture them. Yeah, good luck with that, pal. They don't care about the truth at all. They couldn't give two boogers about the truth. They couldn't care less. They live in a fantasy world where exceptional America has defended itself by eliminating competition and confiscating resources from other countries because they're a threat. That's your military doctrine. Nobody else is doing that. China's not doing it. Russia isn't taking over places. They've been smeared. Oh, they took over Crimea. I freaking live in Crimea. I was there. Nobody took over anything. It was a corrupt, disgustingly corrupt, comically corrupt little place controlled by various oligarchs who were buddies with the U.S. government, and they stole everything. Everything was run down and decrepit. The people of Crimea are Russian. They speak Russian. They've always been Russian. Ukraine had no claim to it whatsoever. It came back to Russia, and they poured billions of dollars fixing up the parks, the schools, the hospitals, and the U.S. said, they stole it. Really? How do you steal a freaking park? I can go to all the parks in my neighborhood, and they're beautiful now. They spent billions of dollars in that country, fixing the roads, fixing everything that had been neglected for 20 years. Because your precious oligarchs like Zelensky and Kolomoisky stole everything. Those are the people the U.S. backs and finances because they give away the store and they do what they're told. Those are the people you're defending when I support Ukraine. And Biden's making all that money out of it. All those other Congress critters, they got their fingers in all of it. Enjoy it. It won't stand. It's not true. It's contrary to God's law. It's contrary to logic. It's contrary to truth. It's like dust. There's coming a storm, and that dust is going to blow away. You're on the wrong freaking side if you're waving a little blue and yellow murder flag around. Ukraine is a construct. The Donbass and the Crimea, Novaya Russia, it's full of Russians. You know why? Because their ancestors lived there. It was given to the Ukrainian Soviet Socialist Republic by Lenin and Khrushchev. They gave it to them. They changed their countries. It's like if we broke off Texas and Oklahoma and gave it to Mexico, and then 60 or 70 years later we say, what are all these Anglos doing in this place? Well, they like white being white. What are they in Mexico for? They need to get out. No, it's the same thing. All those Russians, it's their land. It always has been. But I don't know. There's 150 PR companies telling you otherwise, talking about ancient sovereign Ukraine. It goes back thousands of years. BS. I know the history of the place. It's amazing. Just a little primer, just a little rant, telling the truth, telling you about my situation. If you don't see me anymore, it's because I've run out of money and become a bum. I don't care. I'm fine. I have a family to support, but I can't support them. My wife's not very supportive anyway. She never has been. As soon as I ran out of money, I didn't even run out. I just can't get to it. I made it so she didn't even have to work for all these years so she could take care of the kids. And all she did is bitch and complain about how hard it was. And then she got rid of me real quick. Oh, okay. I'm going through a lot right now. I'm okay. Let's see if I can get to Uzbekistan and then see what happens. I might be forced back to the United States, where everything will be great for me. I'll have all kinds of money. I can't send it here. I can't do anything with my family. Even though they rejected me, I still want to support them. I love my kids. Even though I've been slandered and, this is all me. I don't care about people. I don't love anybody. I worked 12 hours a day, 7 days a week for months at a time. I lived in my freaking car in Pennsylvania in wintertime so I could bring extra money home. And now it's like, I don't care. If you love God and you love truth and you value those things, even the worst kind of slander just rolls off of you. It just rolls off of you. It washes right off. It doesn't affect you a bit. The worst kind of deprivations, the worst kind of injustices, the worst kinds of unfairness and humiliations, they just roll right off of you. That's something to think about. Well, I hope that inspires someone. God is good. That's all I got to say. I know it is. I know it's true. Well, I've had some people in the comments tell me I should go with the this movement of men going their own way. I can make videos about that, and I know those guys get a lot of hits. I can make tons of money off that. But you know what? That's not where it's at, man. Dedication, perseverance, doing what's right no matter what other people do, that's where it's at. Not writing off women. Oh, I don't know, women are bad. Some of them are diamonds and they're great. And they can change. They're the weaker vessel and they're influenced by the movies and television. That's the bad thing. They watch these movies where the stars, they put on their fuzzy white sweater and sit on the polished floor of their mansion and play with the children. Then they look at their husband that just got out of a coal mine or out from under a car and, oh, you dirty, disgusting person. Why can't you be like that? And they start looking at you with contempt because they've got this artificial reality that they want to be a part of. and you're not the movie star, you're not the millionaire. So they start treating you like crap, and of course you react to it, and that makes it even worse. It's hard to get away from that. It's like the devil just stole her from you with deceit. A lot of women get like that. They hold their husbands in contempt because he doesn't compare with what they see on television and in the movies. My wife handed me things that she downloaded from the internet that some millionaire actor said about how you should treat your wife, and you should wash the dishes and take care of the kids and do the housework. I did all that, but I guess I wasn't wearing the right kind of designer clothes while I did it. And I didn't talk in a hushed, sexy voice. She rejected everything from me, rejected it, and then made it my fault. You don't really love me, you're lying. That's easy to do. You can do that with anybody. It's a slander. It's projection. It's not going to end well for her. I pray for her that she somehow wake up. Well, I'm not much use to her now. But if we worked together, it would have been a lot better. Instead, well, maybe somebody gets something from this. I'm a man. I'm normal. I'm fallible. I could be wrong. Maybe I should keep my mouth shut, right? Well, sometimes social ostracization helps people. Sometimes they need it. They can do whatever they want to, and everybody thinks they're a wonderful person anyway because you can hide it. You're never going to learn. You're never going to get snapped out of it. That's why the church used to kick people out for sin until they got their head out of their butt and went back and asked for forgiveness. They don't do that anymore. The church. Oh, I could write a book on that. This is long enough. I'll get back to you later. I'll find out what happens at the embassy now. Uncle Bildy signing out.